In part 1 of my Galactic Man restoration, I did a little bit of a history of the toy. I did a pretty much a complete teardown of the robot. We fixed the insulation for the wiring system. And I also tightened the back part that was really loose and kept falling down. In this video, we're going to be fixing the leg piece that's broken in the front. And I'm going to be making a new battery cover. So stick around, let's get into it. If you haven't watched my part 1 video, I advise you to do so. This will make more sense. But when I did my thumbnail, I put Shackwave, not a knockoff, and why. Now that statement is true, but the toy that I was fixing and restoring is not a Shackwave or a Galactic Man. And the reason how I found that out is I was getting ready to do the battery cover for this, and I was noticing there was a lot of different types of battery covers, and then I realized, trying to find pictures, that there was a lot of different colors of the translucent plastic. Here's a picture of the toy with the pink translucent plastic, and you'll see that the battery cover is flush with the body, and it's a different shape than the one. If you have a Shockwave, a G1 Shockwave, you'll notice that the shape is quite a bit different. This is the battery cover you would see on the actual Galactic Man, except you'll notice that the translucent plastic is clear, and it has the same shape on the Hasbro Shockwave, where the shape is quite a bit different, and it's not flush with the body. This is a boxed Galactic Man, and the translucent plastic is clear. This is a boxed Astro Magnum, and he was made in Japan. He was the first design, and he has red translucent plastic, but he also has the flush battery cover like we saw in the other example. This is what I have. This is Robot Pistol TG-117, and this toy was made in Taiwan, and this is definitely a knockoff of the Astro Magnum. So this is what I have here. I'm going to continue on with the video now that I can clear that up, because I want to make sure that what I say to you guys is the correct information. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to fix the leg here, and I'm going to just cut away that excess plastic. I want to be able to make the piece and make it more of a 90-degree angles and stuff like that, so that I don't have to like shape it too crazy, and I want to have a good glue joint. So just making sure everything is flush is going to make that happen a lot easier. Here's my styrene. I have some cutoffs here that I'm going to use, and this should be the right length and width and thickness. And here's some extra pieces. I'm going to be using at least 3 pieces to make this leg part here. So I'm just going to spend some time sanding all the edges and making sure that they're really flush. Next, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it against the leg of the shape that I want to create, and I'm going to just trace it out. This will make my part really accurate and to size. So that looks pretty good. It's pretty much the shape that I want it to be. It looks like the left leg part. So that's my shape. This is where I'm going to plastic weld it onto the body, and that shape actually is continuous down through the body of the figure, so that should glue on really well. But I need to cut out a notch because that, if you look on the left hand leg, that shape kind of comes up a little bit more. So I figured if I can notch that out and glue it in there, it actually will make it a much stronger bond. Now that notch is shaped out and I can plastic weld it into place. Now this is a tricky shape to try to get in there, and if you look on the left hand side, you'll notice that the piece that is not broken is kind of angled on from the inside out compared to the leg. You have to make sure you get this piece in the right spot because the leg needs to be able to have enough room on one side for the gun mode and on the other side in between those two pieces for the leg to articulate in robot mode. And I think that looks pretty good. I think I got it where I need it. Now it is a little long, which is keeping me from being able to transform it into gun mode, so I just cut that off, and now you can see here it's a little bit shorter. So my next piece is going to be the front part. This is kind of a complex shape. It's angled on the top, it's shaped in the front kind of in a weird way, and also there's a piece on the right hand side that broke off that's notched out. So I'm going to try to fill all that in. So here's the final result. After that glue dried here in the gap fill, I actually cut a notch out right here, which is similar to the left side here. And I think this turned out really well. It's really solid now. It's really good. I don't think that'll break anytime soon. It acts exactly the same as the other one. You can put it in like that, and you can actually bring it over here, articulate it, and then when you put it in gun mode, this is the part that's important, is that when it goes down, that piece kind of holds that in like that. So next I'm going to make the battery cover, and I'm going to do this version of it, the flush version, which is the version that this toy came with. So we're going to start with that. Before I realized that I didn't have a Galactic Man, I have a TG-117, I actually made this, and this is the oddly shaped battery cover, and I've decided to go to the drawing board and do the flush mounted one. And after some careful measuring and drawing here, I've come up with this. Let me explain to you what I have here. This is the flush mount battery cover. Actually, I'll allow you to see the back of TG-117. What you'll notice is we have from here to here is 18 millimeters, and from this corner to this corner it's 52 millimeters. Then we have this piece right here that needs to be bent. The B means bend, so these are the pieces that need to bend. So I need to bend that back 90 degrees, and that will go in here, and I'll put another piece of plastic here that will click into this section here. The next thing I have to make is this needs to be an extra piece there that will bring this out about 1.5 millimeters. And then there's two pieces here that come out that is used for when you push your finger in to unclip it. You use those pieces to pull out the battery cover. And then we have these two pieces here. And these two pieces are bent downwards this way and then bent forward that way, so that they go up into here, and then because this is quite thick here, they have to go down about 3 millimeters and then this way, and that holds the battery cover in. So the Galactic Man and the Soundwave battery cover actually was a lot more intricate and would have been a lot harder to make. I was realizing that as I was making my first battery cover, that it was going to be a lot more intricate, because we had some bent pieces here that had to go up in here, and the shape was pretty was different on both sides. So, and I like the way that this is going to be made better anyway, because it's going to be pretty much flush mount, and this back piece will sit more flush with the body. So that's what we're going to do. So I have all this ready to go. I am going to cut this out with my X-Acto knife, and then we'll bend it to shape and see if it fits. Here we go. So two things. I used a lighter here. I did it off camera to bend these pieces of plastic, and it worked out pretty good. You got to get it really hot, almost to the point where it's melting. And I tried bending this piece in the front, but it broke off, which is fine, because now I'm just going to cut out a notch here, and this will give me probably a better bond when I plastic weld it. You'll see what I do here in a minute, because I'm going to use a piece to reinforce it. So to reinforce it, I've got some styrene here, and it's about the thickness of paper, and it's really easy to bend. So I'm just plastic welding that to my tab there, and it'll make that stronger and let it flex. Now here I'm cutting some pieces to reinforce that, and you can see that on the original one how it's reinforced with 2 small pieces on each side of that tab. So we'll add those on there, and it should work out pretty good. So there's our shape. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to have to do a little bit more sanding and shaping, making edges round and the corners round, and just kind of softening it a little bit. So I'll take some time and do that, and then I'll give it some paint. I'm going to use some black and some silver here, and the toy is kind of yellowed a little bit too, so I've got a little bit of yellow to add in there and to give it a little bit of a yellowing effect so it matches the paint. So this is what I've come up with. It will get a little bit darker, but I think this will match pretty good. So I've got all the shaping done. Let's test the battery cover, see if it goes in there and fits. That's perfect. It fits flush and it clips in and it pulls out really good. After several coats of that paint and a little bit of lacquer, this is the end result. The leg looks really good. The paint did darken quite a bit, and it turned out really well. It still enables me to articulate it and transform it. And we have the new cable and the battery cover fixed. And then the back piece comes up and it stays flush, but also stays up the way it should. And we can also take the battery cover off, which reveals the battery inside. Now the type of paint that I used for the battery cover was an acrylic, and I'm not happy with acrylic. I don't like using it for toy repairing. I don't think it's a great paint for that. I don't think it's durable. And I've said this in the past. I am right now looking for a place to buy some enamel paint. I want gloss enamel paint or even like a semi-gloss enamel paint, and it's going to make my job a lot easier. I used to have some and then I got rid of it because I stopped doing customs and now I regret it. But if we look here, the arms do articulate and they do turn all the way around so that the outside of the arms exposed is not flat with the tabs on it. It actually has the details. And a lot of people don't do this because it puts stress on that old insulation, but I have new insulation here. This insulation is going to last for decades, and I'm not afraid of that. So I will have him on my shelf just like this. And you can see here that his electronics still works. So that's perfect. It's all done. Now the next thing to do, and I haven't done this yet, is I need to show you the 3 other modes that this transforms into. This is the first mode, and it does 4 modes altogether. So let's transform it into the gun mode or the laser pistol mode. Now this toy name is TG-117 laser pistol, and I'm assuming that TG probably stands for toy gun, and 117, this is just a guess, but maybe it was the date that they decided to make this, so November 7th. I guess it could be January 17th. Just my thoughts. If anybody out there actually knows the answer to that, that would be great to let me know, but it was just a speculation on my part. I never had this toy as a kid. I did not have the Hasbro version Shockwave, and I did not have any of the Radio Shack versions. This is the first time I've really had an opportunity to transform this and play with this. I've waited all of this time to do this, and it's kind of satisfying, to tell you the truth. So I'm trying to figure it out as I go, and now I can see that that arm is supposed to go in first because of that little hook tab that's there. So let's get that in. I'm trying to be careful because I think that this plastic probably is brittle. But there's the gun there. Let's put the front of it on. And there we go. It's a pretty awesome toy. I really like this. I would like to actually hang it up on the wall like this instead of in the robot mode, but I think the robot mode is just as good. It looks really cool, and you really can articulate it quite a bit. Here it is in action in the dark. Get that pink translucent plastic glowing. That's pretty awesome. Here I'm going to do the third mode. It's pretty simple. You just pull the feet out. So here is the last mode. I'll call this the 4th mode. This mode seems a little strange, but from what I can tell, this toy is a Japanese toy. So back then when this was made, there was a lot of other toys that could transform into these half transformations. This is part of that time frame, and from this, and it was from Japan, so it was from that country. So this was normal for the kids to play with a toy that transformed in half mode. So here's an example of that. So thanks for watching these episodes. I've got part 1 and this is part 2 of the laser pistol, not Galactic Man restoration. This was really fun. I had a lot of fun exploring this toy. That's part of the things that I like about repairing toys is you really get to explore the toy from inside and out and really get a connection to it. And I definitely have a connection to this toy now, and I can't wait to get it on my shelf. So thanks for watching these 2 episodes. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification down below to be notified for the new episodes I have. I have over 160 videos now, and I'm around 500 subscribers now. So I want to thank everybody who's subscribed to my channel and watch my videos. Let me know what you think of this video too, down in the comments, and let me know if you have any experience with this toy. Thanks for watching. See you later.